So welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, and today we're taking a look at a game that I could not be more excited for. And it is Napoleon's Imperium from Compass Games. So this is a big, multiplayer, grand strategic Napoleonics game. And it's originally designed by... Well, it's a group called the Australian Design Group, and this is a game that it's by Andrew Rowland, but him and his group have been playing this thing for like 25 or 30 years. It's gone through an unconscionable amount of them playing it and developing it, so I'm excited to play this because I do enjoy the massive multiplayer war games, things like Virgin Queen and War Room, things like that, and having a Napoleonics version is a big hit for me in theory, because I've played a lot of Total War Napoleon, so I'm hoping it's that feel, but we're all sat around a table yelling and screaming at each other whilst we betray each other and things like that. So we'll see how it plays out. But there's a lot in this game. It's actually quite a heavy box, and it's just part of that is because there's a ton of decks of cards. There's a ton of cards and paper in here. You also have a lot of D10s. So this is one of those mini bucket of dice games. So we've got a bunch of blue D10s for the French forces, and a bunch of red D10s for the Allied Coalition, is what we'll call that. There's a number of decks of cards in here, and we will look at those here separately, but they're all very, very brightly coloured and very gaudy. I love it. There's a very ostentatious game this time. Alright, what do we got in here? So we have a couple pages of errata that they include, which is nice. And then we've got, alright, let's make sure we can look at this in any kind of reasonable way. There's a lot in here. So, rulebook. This is not a small rulebook, although, well, we don't need a lot of that stuff. We're not counting that. Rules-wise, maybe we're looking at 32, 33 pages or so. It's a lot, but it's no different from any of the other big games, so I fully don't have an issue with that. And everything is broken down chronologically, it looks like, in very, very manageable steps. This looks like it's incredibly well organized, which is a huge plus, especially for big games, right? If you need to refer to rules, you don't want to spend ages in a rulebook because 6 or 7 people waiting on you. You don't want to be doing that. So I'm hoping that this is fairly easy to pick up and learn, and it looks that it's well organized, which is a huge bonus. So rules, nice, full color, and this is on like a semi-gloss as well, which is real nice. So we have, alright, these are our player mats, is what I'm going to call them, or player references. So we got the Prussians, the French, the Nordic nations, the British, the Ottomans, the Austrians, the Spanish, and the Russians. So, yeah, this can be an 8-player game, I believe, which is pretty awesome. I don't know. I just love the idea of getting that many people together around a table. Generals and commanders bickering. I just love it. It's one of my favorite things in these big games. However, what I will say is this is a team game. So you have coalitions, so it'll be like 4-on-4 kind of thing. I believe is how it starts out. We have a chart here, so it looks like I've got a turn track, which goes from 1798 up to 1815 with a little weather chart, and these are probably holding boxes for our cards, or maybe you get battle points for doing those things. I'm not quite sure. Alright, we have here a number of play aids, and by a number I mean 2. So it's got your little rules in brief of everything. That's actually quite handy, and then a little special power table down there. But we have our different territory charts for the different teams. So we've got the British team, which has British, Prussians, Nordic states, and the Russians. And then the French team, which is the French, the Spanish, the Austrians, and the Ottomans on there as well. This is a quick reference for how many dudes presumably start there or can be held there, and which ones you control. Alright. We have... oh no, I've got to get a knife out. So we've got two big old maps, and we'll take a look at this in a second. We've got a massive, fat stack of cardboard. This is, there's a lot of sheets in there. And these are sealed, so let's open these up carefully. Always cut away from yourself and never towards yourself. I know I said that sarcastically, but I suppose that's quite good advice. Alright, well, I feel like some of this is... I'm like holding them and they're like falling off the sheets. So I want to be careful because, oh no, the French is, oh no. Okay. Well, so, I mean, it's good. Oh no. Okay. These are like falling off the counter sheets, which is really, really good news because it means it's going to be, when they do that, it means they're cut really well. And as such, means they'll be easy to clip because they shouldn't have huge big nubs on the counters. But I want to organize these by team. I don't have to fish them all out. But, alright, I'm going to try to pick up just this one sheet. They've fallen off. Okay. Alright. This is... Okay. Okay. Yeah, alright. It's a total disaster. This is... But... this is what I want in a game. Because... even if you don't clip your counters, when these fall off the sprues like this, it means they're cut well, and as such, if you don't clip them, they don't look like garbage because they have all those nubs on them, which I know most people don't care. I'm a snob. I always clip my counters anyway, but if you don't, then they'll still look real pretty. So look at the print quality on these. I'm very much a big fan of the detail that they're able to achieve on these. So from all of the flags, it would be so easy to just print like, I don't know, something that did not look like that. But it's so well detailed from the units and the icons. These are all dual-sided. I'm sorry. It's a total... Oh, it's a nightmare. They're all falling off. I mean, it's a nightmare for camera, but it's really, really good from a game standpoint. I'm very excited to like organize this. There's so many sheets of camera, but like when I pick them, they all fall off. Oh, I love it. Oh, good. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this. I don't have to sit here punching counters. They're just going to fall off. But, did they give me any bags? No. Okay, well, I got a ton of bags. So I'm not worried about that. Yeah, they, okay. Well, so many different units. But the print quality, again, I don't... well. Oh, I love it. So, just, again... And I don't know, maybe it's just I like Napoleonic games, and that's half the reason why. Just the detail on these, from the print quality, the ostentatiousness of everything that was done in this time period, it just looks so nice. And everything's, you know, got reasonably very bright colours, and as well, I gotta stop. I gotta organise these. Okay. But the counters 10 out of 10, and these are pretty thick. These are pretty chunky grey core counters, which is really nice. Everything's very well centered, so I'm a big fan of that. All right, let's look at the maps because this is what we can play. There's a lot of counters, but remember this is 8 players, so it's a 2-mapper, so it's a lot of space, and I think is it 7 counter sheets? Six counter sheets. 6 counter sheets, so everyone's got, you know, only this many in a bit units, so it's not going to be a crazy overwhelming amount of stuff on the board, even though it kind of looks like it is. It's a big board, and it's going to be reasonably spread out. So this is a big map with big areas. Let me get it over here. And it's one of those maps where maybe we'll get a couple plexis out for this when we play it, because you don't want to be moving too bad. So everything's delineated into the various nations. So we've got the British, which looks like they also control Portugal as well. Spain, France, Ottomans, Prussians, Austrians, Did we say Ottomans? Yeah, Russians, and then the Nordic nations is what they called them, I think. And then there's obviously a couple orange and neutral nations as well. But you're going to sit in the area that kind of corresponds. So the Spanish player is going to sit down here. There's a little Spanish holding box for your battle cards. Your little purchase tray where you've bought things into it. And then you have a little track that goes from 1 to 30 that you go around. And I think so, Spanish player is going to see French player, British player, Prussian player. You're going to sit, and it's reasonably adjacent to where your stuff is as well. So it is not a small game. 2-mapper does fit on my table, especially when it's in this orientation. So I'm fine with that on my table. I know some people are like tight for space, but I don't know if there's small scenarios that you could play on one map. But this to me is going to be a game I want to play the whole thing. So I don't know if it can be played smaller. I'm just not sure about that. Maybe. But if not, there's players who we can play this with, and we're going to play this year, and I'm very, very excited for it. So we have numerous decks of cards, and we will crack these open. This is there's holding boxes in each of those kind of player areas for these. And we'll just take a look at some of these because there's a lot of them. All right, here we go. So we have our Nordic battle cards. There's a couple of those, a couple of French ones, a couple of British ones. So these looks like we're going to have to go through and organize these from the printer, which is fine. Even the detail on these is really nice. Like they have the, I don't know, the brocade, is that what you call it? I don't know if that's the right word, but they just look, they've got the extra mile to make things look fancy, which I appreciate. And these have some pretty significant events on them. +1 attack to general next turn. No income. For S.J. Gilland next purchase. -2 fleets and -1 artillery. The French's. Yeah, universal conscription. +6 income points to next purchase. So we got cards that are going to affect all of these. These ones, there were holding boxes on that off map. I wonder if this is just some points that you can accrue. I'm not sure, because it says battle points 10, or if you have to spend battle points to gain these, and you earn battle points through the game. I'm not sure. Oh, come on. I got that stuck to me. So captured capital is 30 battle points. Sea victory, 10 battle points. Spy death, 20 battle points. Successful land defense, 10 battle points. So there's going to be big stacks of these. It's all these. There's a bunch of them. So probably every time you win a victory at sea, you get 10 battle points. I would imagine that that's the case. And that... Well, I've lost it. It's all under here. There was this one. Those are just in stacks up here. And I presume when those things happen, you gain those. But I'm not entirely sure. So there is a ton in this game. I am eminently excited to play this because... I love big multiplayer war games. I love Napoleonics. This one has been in development by a group of Australian war gamers for close to 30 years. And as such, I would hope that it's very good. It looks very good. The production value is very good. So this checks a lot of boxes for me. So what we'll do is we will get this played at some point this year. We're going to get a big group of us together and crack this out. But I'm going to learn this game over the next few weeks and months, and we will let you know how this is. But this is everything that's in Napoleon's Imperium. Appreciate you guys very much for tuning in. I've been Alexander from thePlayersaid.com.